Herbalist Dr. Sebi has cured himself and others of addiction, obesity, and depression. But when he claimed to cure AIDS, he found himself arguing in his own defense before the New York Supreme Court, a case he won. He joins us now to talk about the case, his life, and his incredible work. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to find out today, we want to know everything about you today. Okay? Now, I've got viewers out there who I'm going to bet some struggle with something that I've struggled with all my life. This handsome face right here is always a whole lot cuter when it's 40 pounds less on it. So we could start anywhere. Weight loss, AIDS, cancer, whatever it might be. But if I want to lose, and some of my beloved viewers want to lose weight in a healthy manner, but in a fast manner, what should we do first?
Well, in answer to your question, I have been struggling with weight since 1964. I was 291 pounds. Now, I only weigh 120, and I'm 6'2". I wanted to know what it would be like to be on the other side of being big. And I want to see the benefits of it, because I've been told that there is such thing as the standard weight per height measure.
Yeah.
But we cannot live by those measures.
You're
Those
6'2" and 120.
That's all I weigh, 120 pounds. And trust me, I haven't felt this good in my whole entire life. What I did in the last 6 months, approximately 8 months ago, I stopped eating for 64 days. But I made a mistake. I made a mistake because I had a speech to do in Philadelphia. And by not eating for those 64 days, I was going for 90 days. But I remembered I had a speech to do in Philadelphia. So when I went to do the speech, I fainted. I had to faint because I was talking too long and I was not eating for 64 days.
Yeah.
What I've done was to discontinue anything that had glucose. Glucose is the underlying enemy. Whenever you indulge in glucose, it would be difficult to lose fat.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Honduras.
Yes.
Okay, and California. In Honduras, I discovered a plant known as Cusca.
Okay.
Cusca is a plant that the Maya used to use.
Mm-hmm.
And they used another one known as the teosinte.
Okay.
I eat those plants. Those plants does not have starch or glucose.
Uh-huh.
You will look at your body losing weight and you're going to get frightened.
You use the word frightened. I've been afraid, I've been scared since I heard you say that you gave up food for 64 days. What did you do during that 64-day period of time that sustained you, that gave you enough energy to just even get up out of the bed?
Well, I was in the village of Usha in Honduras. We have thermal waters there. We have a thermal water there that has a pH of 9.8. A pH of 9.8, meaning that this substance has a high level of oxygen.
Uh-huh.
And it is oxygen that the body needs,
Okay.
not rice or beans or a piece of meat.
Mm-hmm.
It needs oxygen. That is the fuel of the body. So I drink the water, and I would eat that Cusca.
Uh-huh.
This is a plant that I just discovered lately that the Maya used to eat.
Okay.
Cusca is delicious. It tastes like cucumber.
Uh-huh.
So I ate that, the Cusca plant, I drink the water, and that was it.
And did you have like what would be your normal kind of everyday routine while you went that long without water? I hear you say you were coming to Philadelphia
To do a speech.
To speak. So you were traveling, and I mean, you just weren't, it's not like you were bedridden. You were active.
No, I wasn't bedridden.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't bedridden at all. I was working in the village because I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do in the village, building these huts and directing certain programs,
Yeah.
the organic electric agriculture program that I have going. So I was busy. You'd be surprised what water does. You see, water, I learned the uses of water in Ecuador. The people of Vilcabamba, their diet is 78% water, 22% solid. Because the body doesn't need that solid food. It needs fuel, and the fuel comes oxygen and water.
Let me ask you, you said the pH
Yes,
in your village, where the thermal water is,
Yes.
is 9.8.
9.8.
And that is compared to what would be in the American water system here. Any idea?
Well, 9.8 is a very high level pH. It's hydrogen ion concentration. A high level of pH ensures that you have the amount of oxygen that the body needs, also the minerals. You find that in the thermal waters. In America, there is water here because there was Trinity. Trinity water was thermal, and it was 9.8. Yes, you find it in America also.
So let me ask you, so in essence, aside from the plant and the water, you fasted from all other kinds of solid,
Oh, yes.
solid food.
Oh, yes.
Okay. How long ago was that?
That was only about 8 months ago.
And you have a baby on the way now.
Yeah. She's pregnant.
Okay. You're 82 years old, and I'm putting some emphasis on this because it is highly unusual. Do you maintain that it shouldn't be so unusual, or that it's not something so extraordinary about you that other men ought to be able to produce?
Men could do it. Other men could do it. Any man could do it. What I did was to depart from the usual diet that most men indulges, changing the diet, because remember, I was impotent. I was impotent at 30. How was it that I could have been impotent at 30 and I'm making babies in my 80s?
A whole lot of viewers out there want to know.
Sure. But see what happened, the information that I got in 1964, many brothers and sisters may not have received that message yet.
And that message is what?
That message came from a Mexican. The message was showing gene food consistency, meaning your cellular predisposition determines what you should eat. So when I went to Mexico, I had already traveled to Russia. I was in St. Petersburg. I was in London. I've been to Spain. I've been to many places in Africa. I was asthmatic. I was impotent. I had diabetes. I was, in fact, crazy. I was placed in an insane asylum in New Jersey in 1961. Schizophrenia and paranoia. So I'm schizophrenic, paranoia, I'm impotent, I'm diabetic, I'm asthmatic from birth. So I go to Mexico. And the man asked me, where are you from? I said, I am from Honduras. He said, we cannot talk. I said, why? Because black folks doesn't come from Honduras.
Okay.
Maya come from Honduras. Maya and Paya and Lenca. So where you from? Oh, I'm from Africa. Now we're talking. Now because you are from Africa, do you believe that God was drunk when he put black people in Africa? I said, no. Well, do you believe that he put a diet there for you? I said, sure. And what's the diet? Rice and beans and potatoes and yams and cows and hogs and lamb. He said, not so. That's not the diet of an African. What is the diet of an African? He said, the same as the Toltec and the Olmec. All that which is native. But I didn't know these things because I was a Muslim.
Okay.
You know, I was in Islam. I love Islam.
Yes.
Islam gave me a whole lot of good things. I mean, I met Elijah Muhammad.
Okay.
I met the messenger, talking to him like I'm talking to you.
Okay.
But the messenger's information at the time needed a little bit more help.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me that I could not eat meat any longer, no lamb.
Yeah.
I could not drink any milk.
Yeah.
And
So
I abstained from all these things, and here I am now at 82. I'm happier than I've ever been in my life.
Okay. In the opening of this show, I talked about you having worked with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Can you tell us about how that came about and what kind of work you did with him?
I was home a Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles on La Cienega. Somebody threw a rock at my window. When I looked outside, it was Randy. Well, I had known Randy over the years, Randy Jackson.
Yes.
Michael Jackson, brother.
Mm-hmm.
So he came upstairs. What's it? My brother want to see you. I said, who? Michael. Michael? Michael want to see me? I'm the least of the individual that people want to see. I'm at the bottom of the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
I went to see him. And he said he was in agreement with me traveling with him. And I told him that I would be able to help him.
Yeah.
He couldn't sleep. He was in a very bad emotional state.
What time frame, what time period was this? Do you remember?
2004.
Okay.
I was with him from February until September.
Of 2004.
At the ending of September, I told him, I said, you know, you're singing, you feel good, you're looking good, I'm leaving. He said, don't leave me. I said, why? He said, I want you by my side, but I have a business to build. Yeah. But I love Michael. Michael's beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful brother.
What did you do for him?
What I did for him was this. I gave Michael an intracellular chelation. An intracellular chelation means that I'm going to clean every cell that makes up every organ that total his biological structure. Because he was full of a whole lot of drugs, you know, the pharmaceutical drugs.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
His nerve was shattered. So I began treating him.
Yeah.
And at the ending of the period, he was doing good, and I left.
Yeah. Okay. So